Welcome back for another video. Who are the best players to buy for Gameweek 37? We've got just 2 game weeks to go. There's still plenty of really high upside picks to choose from though if you're looking for a final push. So let's do the goalkeepers first, and we'll keep this part fairly brief because I imagine most of you are looking at other positions. There's a few fixtures that have got really good clean sheet potential this week, and the obvious one of course, Arsenal home to Burnley. Likely to have the best clean sheet odds we're going to see all season across the 760 matches played. As it stands, 58% chance for Arsenal to shut Burnley out. The title's on the line, 2 more wins, and Arsenal can lift the first Premier League trophy for 22 years. Last game week, Arsenal's defence was over 100% ownership, so just owning one defensive asset means that clean sheets actually hurt your rank. Raya is top this game week, and he will be again in game week 38, so if you need a keeper and you've got the funds, he's your man. Golden Glove already secured, 18 clean sheets this season, 3 Golden Gloves on the bounce. Honourable mention to Pickford as well, he's got Sunderland home, and Cielo faces West Ham home, Leno's got Wolves away. Those 3 are the next names on the list, and they've got good clean sheet potential as well. As you can see, if you look at the next 2 game week projections column, we're at a point in the season where many picks are neck and neck for the run-in, which basically means you can go over your gut if there's a close call between a couple of players you're looking at. When there's a reasonable gap, that's when I tend to pay more attention to the projected points. But if you're looking at 2 players that are like, 0.2, 0.3 apart, that's when you can kind of use your own assessment and go with your gut on a player. So let's talk about that more. Let's do the defenders and then we'll do the mids and forwards. Gabriel tops the table, an 11-pointer last game week, Defcon, max bonus, and that's put him past 200 points for the season. He needs 7 more points to join the all-time FPL Dream Team, 7 points from the final 2 game weeks. Though I guess it's a bit of an asterisk, isn't it, because the introduction of Defcons has increased his output. The all-time Dream Team's got Robertson, Trent and Van Dijk in the back 3. Van Dijk with 208 points, the lowest of the 3, but yeah, he would have got loads of Defcon that season, you'd expect. Looks very likely he'll make it in. Just needs 1 clean sheet in the final 2 games really. So is Gabriel captain shout this game week? I would say he absolutely is. He's produced 6 double-digit returns this season. Only Bruno, Haaland and Bruno G have produced more than Gabriel's 6 hauls. And going back to the earlier point about Arsenal's defence being over 100% ownership combined, if he's your only Arsenal defender, then that's a way you can guarantee some gains off an Arsenal clean sheet as well. You never know, it could be a game where he gets a goal involvement, a header or maybe just an assist off a set piece. Burnley have conceded 113 headed goal attempts this season. That ranks 2nd worst after West Ham. Saliba is 2nd on the table, and then it's Tarkowski, and then Mosquera, Keane, Collins, Van Dijk and Mykolenko. White was photographed leaving the West Ham game with a knee brace on after going off injured in the first half. His season could potentially be over, unfortunately. Huge shame, because he was actually looking like a really good pick for the final 2 game weeks. Arteta did try Rice in right back but didn't work, so it has to be Mosquera unless Timber's back. But Arteta was asked about Timber in the last press conference and he said he's not sure if he'll play again this season. So yeah, if he doesn't play again, Mosquera for 5.3 mil, the cheapest route into the defence. I guess Calafiori went off injured as well at half time, so there's Hincapie and there's Lewis Skelly, but the left backs feel a bit risky. I think Lewis Skelly probably the best option playing in midfield. Tarkowski came away with a goal and an assist, 13 defensive contributions and max bonus against Palace for a 15-point haul. His final 2 games are decent as well. He's startable in both, especially this week home to Sunderland. Keane is the best alternative if you're tight for money. Brentford's out for the season, so Keane is a 4.5 mil route into the defence. And honestly, he's got every chance of outscoring Tarkowski for 1.2 mil cheaper with a bit of luck on your side. He's got 3 goals this season. He scored 3 last season. In fact, only 1 season ever he's failed to score in the Premier League since his debut in 2016-17, so he's got an eye for goal. Arsenal and Everton are the 2 teams that I would look at if you're making a defender transfer this week. Van Heck is on 3.9 points by the way, so he's startable again for sure if you've got him. He just misses out making the table. Anderson would have been a handy pick this week, but he's suspended after picking up that red card against Bournemouth, so could be Bastien Diop in centre back against Wolves. Mukiele's on 3.7 points. Lewis Skelly's on 3.6, but it really depends massively on his minutes, which are 60 by default. If he gets 80 minutes, for example, that shoots him up to 4.8 points. Joint 3rd here, and he's only 5 mil. Midfielders next, and there's a lot more teams to choose from here. So just reading the list top down, it's Bruno and Saka joint top, and then it's Palmer, Rice, and Dye, Wilson, Bruno G and Trossard. A blank for Saka against West Ham. It was a really tough game and he only managed 2 very low quality shots, 0.02 XG. However, it is the best possible fixture going next, and he's captain material this week even. He's very unlikely to get 90 minutes, I will play devil's advocate and say that. Like, it's almost certain that he comes off early because they've been easing him back ever since he came back from injury, but yeah, like, if the game is looking comfortable 2 or 3-0 up, he likely will come off, even if that's like 60 or 70th minute. But it is also possible that he's returned a couple times by then, so lower expected minutes may not matter. The same can be said about the other Arsenal attackers like Gyökeres and Trossard. Palmer only 0.5 projected points behind Saka for the final 2 games, so if you still own Palmer and you need to go for the swingiest play possible, then keeping Palmer is the answer, given he was only about 12% owned among active managers last game week, and including captaincy, Saka's probably going to be about 100% effective ownership, so it's really high risk, high reward. Like, I know Chelsea have been bad, but if he had buried that penalty and, if Cucurella was a couple inches onside rather than offside last game, then we're talking about back-to-back Palmer goals, fine margins. Again, it's the sort of thing to consider only if you're really chasing the upside and you're in that position where you've still got him. Spurs have beaten Chelsea just once ever at Stamford Bridge since the Premier League began. That was in 2018. They've got 1 win, 11 draws, 20 losses. Trossard's projected points are also very much dependent on the minutes that he gets. For example, if he gets 80 minutes and we bump him up, on FPL review that puts him on 6.3 points and that places him 3rd top among the mids. Arteta tends to favour him versus low block teams, plus he is in form. He just scored the winner against West Ham, only 6.5 mil, only 0.8% owned. It's not out of the question for Arteta to play Eze or Martinelli left wing, that is the caveat, but you'd think he's earned another start after scoring the winner to keep Arsenal's title hopes firmly in their hands. Rice is up there, but his attacking data has just been so underwhelming recently, and his defcons as well have sort of dried up, so it's just not the most inspiring pick. Feels like a 3-pointer or a 6-pointer is his likeliest score at the moment. I mean, the last time he scored double-digit points was game week 20. He's had single-digit returns every game since then. And Dye and Dewsbury Hall are the 2 standouts depending on your budget. And Dye's got 6 goals, 3 assists, and he's on penalties. Dewsbury Hall's got 8 goals, 7 assists, and he's on corners plus some free kicks. Garner is actually the top scoring Everton midfielder, but I would opt for one of the other 2 for the highest ceiling. Dewsbury Hall, I think, is actually just about my favourite, despite not making the table here. He's only 5.2 mil, 4 double-digit returns this season, and Dye's got just 1, which was 10 points. Wilson, another one who's just lost his appeal as of late. I know he's got Wolves away and he's got Newcastle home, so he's not the worst pick, and he does have multiple routes to points, but again, no returns for quite a while. He's probably just about a stronger pick than Dewsbury Hall if you need someone that you can play in both this game and next, because it's Wolves away and then Newcastle home. Though, I mean, Spurs in game week 38 for Everton is not bad, especially if West Ham's fate is sealed and Spurs are already up, then it's a dead rubber game. Matoma's season might be over after going off injured last match. He's got the World Cup coming up as well, so even if he's got a chance of playing in game week 37 or 38, it'd be kind of surprising if he risks it again, unless it is a very minor injury. So the last one to mention is Bruno G. Again, if you're just looking for a super differential as a big push in the final 2 game weeks, he was barely 1% owned among active managers last game week. He's got 8 double-digit returns this season, which is 3rd most after Bruno and Haaland. He's an absolute beast in home games if you look at where his points have come, and he's got West Ham home, who could be feeling defeated if Spurs beat Leeds to move 4 points clear. Basically game over them. He actually earned himself 2 bonus points in the 1-1 draw against Forest, despite no goal involvement. And if Gordon and Voltemada aren't starting next game, then he's on pens as well. Anyone considering him? So finishing up with the forwards, and then we'll do team of the week. So it's Gyökeres top, 6.5 points, followed by Haaland, who's got Bournemouth away a few days after the FA Cup final. Actually, that's one thing I forgot to mention about the Palmer thing. So if you're going to keep Palmer or João Pedro, the downside is it's the FA Cup final first, and then 3 days later they've got their fixture against Spurs, so you're going in a bit blind and less of a turnaround between the 2 games. Thiago's got Palace home, great fixture for him. Yeah, and João Pedro Spurs home. So yeah, Gyökeres top of the table here, and he's definitely captain material this week. Bruno and Saka were on 6.8 points, so barely ahead. Arsenal are tricky because, as I said earlier, their minutes could be on the lower side in terms of all the attackers really. It might not matter if they've already returned, but Yeah, no, if Arsenal were like 2 or 3-0 up, and maybe it's someone you didn't expect, like Ødegaard has scored. If it's 2 or 3-0 up at the hour mark, Arteta could just take the likes of Saka and Gyökeres off and get Madueke and Havertz on. It's not completely out of the question for Havertz to start even. I think Gyökeres is definitely likely to start for sure. But yeah, you might want to get some rhythm into Havertz at some point ahead of the Champions League final. That game against PSG could be a match that would suit Havertz more up top. Double Arsenal attack with Gyökeres and Saka does look really good though, doesn't it? I mean, the atmosphere at the Emirates is going to be bouncing, and this really should be a comfortable win, you'd expect. If you're tight for cash, just one other forward worth a mention is Beto, who's been hitting his usual end of season form. Like, he's blanked once in his last 5 games, 5 goals, 1 assist in 5, and he's got Sunderland home. Again, he's not going to get 90, but he looks good for about 70-ish minutes, and he's 5 million. And then lastly, team of the week using the latest projections within a 100 million budget, and the team is Kelleher, Collins, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Bruno and Dye, Palmer, Saka, Wilson, Gyökeres and Thiago. And on the bench it's Darlow, DCL, Keane and Rodon. How many players have you got? Is there anything you would change with the team? I don't think I would go double Brentford defence, and I mean, again, it'd be really high risk, high reward to go no Haaland, but purely on maximum points this week, he's not in there. So what's your transfer plans this week, guys? Leave a comment below. Good luck in the remainder of the game week as well. I'll see you soon for the next one.